Hello, and welcome to Blackfeather Guild. Before we go in and say hi to the cast and get started with the show, I wanted to talk very briefly about viewer actions and a little bit about sponsors. So, first off, there's a number of ways that you can actually actively participate in the show through viewer actions. One of the easiest ways to do so is through retweeting the game tweet. You should see that somewhere in chat if it's not in there already. But you just click on that link and hit retweet, and for every 5 retweets that we get on that, it will add a bonus to the cast pool and the game master pool. Now, in most cases, that's going to be an extra d6 that they can add on to any roll. Basically, a great way to use that is if a player is almost meeting a DC, but they're just not quite there, they can grab one of those d6s from the cast pool, roll that, and then add that to their roll. Basically, is how that works. Same with the GM. So that's one of the easiest ways that you can participate that way. Another way is through guild coins. That's our Twitch channel points. If you look at the rainbow colored icon, it should have the Blackfeather Guild crest on it. It should be right below your Twitch chat box. If you click on that, it'll show you all the different things that you can get with those. The biggest one being plot points. Now, plot points, you can see an example right over here. They all work pretty much the same way. It's just a matter of how big of an impact they have. So for the example, when we've got 2 plot points, the player of your choice gets something moderately helpful or unhelpful. Enter any suggestions for the GM into chat, or you can have the GM come up with something entirely on their own. So just choose if you want it to be helpful or unhelpful to the party, and that's kind of how you can use them. You can throw in your own suggestions as well. How those work: 1 plot point is something trivially helpful or unhelpful. 2 is moderately, 3 is very, and 4 is very to the entire party. So if you want to do something to help the entire party or really throw a monkey wrench in their plans, 4 plot points will do that. So that's guild coins. And then finally, we've got donations. So if you want to help out with keeping the lights on in the place, so to speak, there's a number of ways that you can financially contribute. One of those being coffee.com/Raven or raven.rocks. You can see both of those examples down there at the bottom. Those are the addresses to do direct donations. You can also do Twitch subscriptions or bits. Those work the same way. And then finally, Patreon. We've got a Patreon, which you should see in chat here any second if it's not there already. And our Bard tier patrons and higher get credits towards viewer actions every month that they can use on any show that they would like. You just have to let us know in chat how you want to spend those, and then we'll hand those out. So some very cool stuff. Before we hop over to see the cast, one last thing to mention is a couple things on this chart here. We've already covered the D6 and the plot points, but the triple crits, what that means is you can gift auto critical successes. And you can, it's triple because you get 3. You can divvy those out however you'd like. You can do 2 to the cast, 1 to the game master, all of them to the game master, however you want to do it. So they work much like the D6s. The cast members just grab that when they're available and they really need them and use them. So it's pretty cool. And then finally, the last one, introduce an ally or enemy NPC. Just give us a brief description of what you want this character to look like, kind of their character concept and a name, and let us know if you want it to be an enemy or an ally to the party, and the GM will basically take that and run with it. So really cool ways that you can participate. Lastly, I just want to take a quick moment to mention our sponsors. If you look at the logos down below, that's who's sponsoring this episode, and we'll talk a little bit about that before we introduce everybody as well on the next scene. So yeah, check all this stuff out, and thank them for supporting us, and thank you for being here and watching. Let's go say hi to the cast.
Hello there, and thank you for the introduction, Raven. Before we get into the game, we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors, Grinding Coffee Company and Fundamental RPG. Be sure to check out grindingcoffee.co and use the code RAVEN, RAVVYN, for 13% off your orders. And unfortunately, this week, because of internet woes, uh, Sassy isn't here. Hopefully, maybe I'll get fixed and come in. But if not, send all the good wishes and all that to them. Hopefully, they able to deal with it. Uh, Today, I'd like to introduce you to our cast again. Uh, let's starting with our great Otto. Oh,
I am Eshi. Uh, I don't really do much online. You can find me here. I play Otto, the troublemaking changeling wild sorcerer. Uh, Here to stir the pot, make some craziness.
thank you very much. Then off to our resident barbarian.
Hi, I'm Plar. I play Jin, the pretty serious and bodyguard type. He is a Earth Genasi barbarian, just here to protect the group and keep them out of the fire.
Thank you very much. Now, as we go on through today, we will be using a bit of from a module from Unbridled, called, which you can find on DM's Guild. It is an anthology with a lot of unicorns and unicorn-based things. Worth checking out if you haven't already. Yeah. Now, as we begin this week's episode, uh, start off with both Otto and Jen talking to Snicklesocks as having very bruises that look like fins on their face. Going, okay then, so it looks like you guys are going on a mission to help a hack?
Uh, Goodness disinclined individual.
I did not agree to a single thing.
Which was a good choice. Plausible deniability is only going to help us here.
Okay, so what am I going to be telling BB then? Because this seems a little bit off your beaten path of your normal traveling stuff. Like,
You should tell him that Otto went rogue, and I went to save his ass.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
yeah, you're right, but I'll have that as a possible deniability. But
There's a tournament. There's a tournament where we're going. They do the fighting.
Right.
You're going to Greenblade? That seems very highly suspicious. Like, that's not for a couple of months, I think, or weeks at the very least.
Well, you got to get the pre-fight promo going. Got to let people know where the fighters are at and increase gambling revenues.
Scouting.
Yeah, like when you actually turn in your story, I gotta at least have it make it look like, oh, this was the purpose. So is that the story you plan to be when you're done with this?
Snicklesocks, are you doubting my ability to spin a story?
No. I want to be able to have my story straight so I don't get fired.
Don't worry about it.
I need a story to go on.
The tournaments, it'll play a major role. It'll be background things, only subtle with the evil folk.
Again, I already got everyone's already talking about the carrier trout. Okay, like I'm not going to be able to hide it that well. I still don't believe it myself. And I touched the damn fish and got slapped by the damn fish.
You know what? Blame me. Everybody in town knows I'm a wild mage. Things go crazy, sometimes get a little out of hand. You know, things get
That's
wild.
yeah, I got that, but I just need to at least have BB say when you hand in the story, oh, they've gone off to do such and such.
Oh,
that
of
when
course.
you hand in the story, that lines up, so I get paid and you get paid.
Don't worry about it. I've got this.
I
know my
just need
business.
a line. I just need
You
something.
you have
I
my
just need
word
something
as
to
a
go with BB
journalist.
right now. That's all.
We're doing
that's
promotional work because there's some suspicion about legitimacy in the fighting at Greenblade. That's scandal. That'll sell a story.
Okay, if I'm not believing it, how the heck is BB gonna believe it?
Well,
I
you're a
need a
better
better story
salesman
at
than I am.
least. No, I am not. You've
am a
seen my
journalist.
wallet. You've seen my wallet. You get more money in your pocket than I do.
It probably doesn't help that most of it comes from you. But that really says more about you than it does about me.
You're right, but again, I need story.
We're covering the fighting. There's always lead up fights. We're doing reconnaissance work. It'll be fine.
Okay, I'm gonna say you're reconnaissance a hag. That good?
Whatever you got to do to make the story happen.
Okay, good enough. And writes that down. Now, then pulls out another paper. You should be when you go down to Penny for your gold. There should be at least 2 gold down you for the story. Like it did well with circulations. Like BB's throw in an extra gold, and you probably when you want to put in for your requisition there at the same time, save you a bit more effort when you come back again to get your next paycheck.
Otto kind of flaps their hand. Yeah, of course. I know the drill. We're good. You're the best, Socks. You do your business.
Okay.
We'll get this job done today. Stories for the people. And then Otto is gone.
Jin, feel free to slap him against the head once for me.
All right, I'll get right on that, boss.
Good job. You're a good man. Good man. Sticklesoft goes off while I'm guessing you guys go down to Penny and Pace. As you get into there, this hallway is kind of very sterile and like much of the floors, up until you get to actually Penny's desk, which seems to have a lot more flair in comparison. Like almost like they painted everything else with a bit of like that yellow sunshine, stars, and all this very brightness. It's very odd in contrast. And welcome. Hello there. How are you today?
Penny, you're a ray of sunshine. I'm doing fantastic. So, Sock sent me down to get him his paycheck, as well as, pick up our bit from the last story,
I'm going to need a persuasion roll on that.
Just one moment.
I will give you, it's not a high DC. Oh my god! A nat 1.
Oof.
Well, unfortunately, Jin, I'm going to have to penalize you for that fabrication. You know that You're not supposed to. That is quite
Oh.
illegal.
Penny, you know I'm joking. Why would he send me down here to pick up his paycheck? Come on.
Yeah. She just kind of turns to Jin instead and then goes, here are 2 gold for you and a gold for the bad liar.
Sure.
You're a kind soul, Penny. Thank you. You know, I'm repentant. I'll change my ways. I promise you.
Really?
Well, you know, time changes all things. Yeah. Tomorrow is another day. I might come out a little better because of your influence. Thank you for your generosity, Penny.
Yeah. I'll believe that when you bring me some cheese whiz.
You know, the alchemists
no
and I
one
don't get along
knows.
these days.
Yeah. Okay, now, before I get into a bad mood, and you know how horrible that is, you haven't to put in your requisitions yet?
They get me in any of that shift weave yet?
I got at least a potential. I got it in there. Like, I got a dealer up there around the mountains. Like, got some dwarves that might be on to some interesting textiles, if you know what I mean.
Well, you do what you can. You keep me informed.
Okay. Jin, you at least put it in the paperwork and figure, or are you going to be sitting on that one for a good while?
I'm definitely sitting on it. I don't really have anything I truly wish to have.
Okay. And stamps the paperwork on Jin's. Okay, we'll see what we can do. Yeah. Probably when you come back with your latest story, maybe I'll have something for you. Now, before you take your leave, is there, and looks around, any juicy gossip you got for me?
So, I swear, I saw one of those dragon-marked gnomes hurrying out of a bookstore the other day. I was going in to look for some wild magic information. He looked pretty upset. He had a book he was trying to tuck into his robe.
Ooh, that is some juicy gossip. And looks around and places like a silver on the counter. Like, don't tell nobody.
Hey, you tell everybody.
And lets you guys leave. This goes off to do additional paperwork. What would you like to do?
Oh, trying to think. Well, what do you think we should do, Otto?
Well, we could follow up on some more of that, the information on that Blood Queen. It's still kind of stuck in my craw. There's something not right about that. And the fact that apparently all of the history is lies is disconcerting.
Out of character, it was particularly that book about wild magic that was all lies.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Got time to kill before that hag comes calling?
Yes, you do.
I don't know. Any friends you want to visit?
I'm not sure if anybody will have me right now. Last time we were in town got a little hectic. Been trying to lay a little bit low this week. We could, you want to go for a drink?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I know a nice place. It's just down the corner here.
Oh, you do?
I like to stay close to the shop. You never know when work's going to come in.
I rarely get a drink.
Would you like me to describe it, or do you have something already in mind?
Go for it.
Okay. You end up with a tavern called Hole in the Wall, which is very much trying to be a very touristy place. Like, it fails because it's that they really do not understand what a lot of the dwarven community that's a part of the chronicles and the area right now. So a lot of it is kind of like little things they think dwarves might know, like small chairs that stack on each other, and that way you can climb up if you're bigger or smaller on them. With lots of miniature cakes and and all of this is run by a three crade, I believe, a very insect. eh, very kind of like have mandibles. Think very much like a humanoid grasshopper that never sleeps. That's always around there, for serving, even when like every other bar might be closed. They have either uh, alcohol for you, or they have coffee, or for the very dangerous, the alcohol coffee.
So, Jin, you want to know the only reason this place is still open?
Oh, what's that?
Barkeep, can we get a seat in the back room? They call it
You
the
got
hole.
it.
They call it the hole in the wall because there's a hole in the wall that leads to the guild hall next door's back room.
Oh, very nice.
That's why it's popular with journalists.
Like, and the Thrycreen is just like attempts to wink as you pass by, but failing at doing so. Like, even with like half of its eyes are trying to, some half do it. Yet one might succeeds on it, but just closes and stays close as you walk by.
I slip him the silver that I got from Penny.
Eh. The Thrycreen bites on it before put it in their pouch. This being kind of like a bit of uh, journalist headquarters, this allows for you guys to always talk to hear like rumors around. I'd like either perception or investigation to see if you can recognize anyone here. Because maybe it might be just that someone you know isn't here. So, Jin, would you like to try, or is this going to just be auto? Woo!
Ooh,
Okay.
very perceptive.
Yeah. Auto, you might see kind of like a couple of people that are actually kind of like angry, and you just kind of like duck out of the way so they don't catch you. But Jin, on the other hand, actually notices one of the oldest journalists that has not been able to get outside of the horoscopes, a dragonborn. And like, regardless of what they try to do, like you can see kind of like they have like this very kind of like desert lizard, like a very like brown with lots of reds with kind of like little paints green near the eyelids and a lot of where like they can move. Where it's kind of like almost as if kind of like allow for like it to be able to blend right into any like dried out grass and such. He goes, "Dead!"
Okay. Hi.
Aye,
Now what's up?
not much. Outside the sky.
Right, yeah. Very true.
It just kind of disappears into the corner of the booth, sipping at the ale.
How you been?
I've been trying, like, you know the story. I tried to get out of the horoscopes, but I write them too dang well. I keep trying to come up with investigation stories. Like, for example, like, there's some rumors about uh, uh these vampiric elves sneaking around and getting scared off by a saber-toothed cat.
Wild.
I know. And I bring this up. Does anyone want me to investigate? I got this great story, but no horoscopes.
Hey, maybe that cat's actually a saber-tooth cat.
Yeah. Like,
Where was this? Vampire elves?
Well, I heard the rumor, like, going out. Like, I think it was a little over near nowhere. Like, over where, like, you got that big area where those two, like, bits of the last war, you got those giant, like, war forges stuck clashed together. Like, a little over in that area. Like, I don't know much on it, because, again, it's a rumor. I don't know much about a rumor if it's even true or not.
Interesting. Well, I'll tell you what. Got a chance, I'll check it out.
Yeah. Again, like, weren't you up there not too long ago?
Honestly, I don't really remember where we go.
We were actually, and I know something about that cat. We'll look into it. It'll be fine.
Oh, come on! You gotta tell me! Come on!
It's too soon. You got to verify things, check sources, look up.
Come on!
You got to research the area.
Come on! I need a way out of horoscopes. Come on! And he starts to just get on his knees and almost, come on, please! I need a way out of horoscopes.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Otto leans in close. Hey, you didn't hear it from me, but look into the Blood Queen.
What? Oh, maybe like it's the pet. That's why they'd be scared. Interesting.
There's forces in play. There's powers at work. We gotta look into it. Get back to me. We'll share information. I'm looking into some things right now. I don't want to get too deep into it until have more, but
Okay,
keep your eyes out.
And gets off his knees and like dusts themselves off and like goes, oh man, I almost forgot, Jen. I owe you for that last bet I lost. And then starts scrummaging around through their pockets and goes like, and pulls out this bag. Okay, this should hold me off for a good while. Now, like this right here, a bag of edibles. It looks like salt. You put it on whatever thing that you can't eat, makes it edible.
Right. You and your crazy stories.
again, like I'm trying to get out of horoscopes. Before I forget, do either of you two want your horoscopes?
No, no,
Yeah,
thank you.
I don't remember what I am, so don't worry about it.
Well, again, it's pretty easy. I can look at you and figure it out. My big problem is I'm too damn good at horoscopes.
Oh, you're one of the diviners, eh? Yeah,
A
sure.
little bit.
Hit me. What you got?
Okay. And then puts. I feel like at one point you will find a jaunty mustache. Yes. When you would least expect it. And be careful if you end up with a pink glow.
Anyone else that might not be very useful, but thank you.
Yeah, I know, because no one else would have to be worrying about a pink glow.
Well, there you go. Horoscope in the bag. Pretty nice. Pretty great.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do while in the hole in the wall?
Get myself a coffee with mixed with a bit of alcohol. Start the day off well.
Okay. I would like a Constitution roll.
Sure. Constitution save. Is that? Oh, didn't. Yep.
It's average. Like you're fine, but it just isn't agreeing with you. Ever so often, like you might have just like a little burp of flame.
Burp of flame. Jesus. Oh, there was something else in that mix.
Never. I'm sorry. I should have warned you. You never get the coffee. They do not. They do not know what they're doing with coffee here. It's. I don't even know why it's on the menu. I'm sorry.
I gotta walk this off.
I'll come with you. It doesn't seem like there's going to be too much else more exciting than that today.
Well, you always gotta have the slow days.
And on the way out, I'm going to stop on the next to one of the tables of another journalist that is not so happy with me and be like, peace offering. And then I'm going to cast suggestion and lean in close and say, the gnomes are up to something.
Oh my god.
And he goes, yeah, when are they not up to something? Okay.
Something big.
Look
into it.
Of course they're up to something. That's every gnome. How is that useful?
Look into it.
Okay. I'm always like, just mumbles off and continues to drink.
I don't know what's happening. You know, it'd be fun actually if we go track down some sort of beast I could talk to.
Ooh. Okay, that sounds like you want to make either a nature or a survival roll.
Sure. I'll take nature because my wisdom's bad. Why not?
Okay. As you're going out and about, you find yourself noticing a bit of crackles, so like little crows that have been outside the hole in the wall.
Mm. It's a murder of crows. What are they doing here? Guess I shall find out by using speak with animals.
And you hear them. I don't get why we're following them. They don't make me see it.
What are you doing here?
Like a couple of them just fly off scared that you can actually speak to them. While there's just one like that's going. You got something shiny?
Do I have something shiny? Help me out here, Otto.
Otto fishes out a copper piece and hands it over.
That ain't shiny. That's brown. That's brown. Not shiny. That's no.
I cast prestidigitation on it.
Shiny. Then goes. Well, it's supposed to follow you.
Follow me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. What are you doing here? What were you just talking about?
Supposedly, you know Hag. Yeah.
Oh boy, this hag keeps coming up everywhere. What's going on? Yeah, we know of her.
Yeah. Well, forget about her.
What? Why?
Bad news. That's why I'm supposed to follow you.
Oh, someone sent you to follow us, huh? Interesting.
Yeah.
We might be fine, though. It's just one hag, right?
Yeah. Just one hag. And then just flutters away.
What? All right, guess our conversation's over. Otto, I don't know. I think someone's spying on us. They don't want us to help this hag. The crows have eyes, if you know what I mean.
I can't say I'm terribly surprised. Messing around with hags and demons, it doesn't usually end well, regardless of how you go about it.
You know, usually talking to animals results in them wanting me to help them hunt or something, but I guess this time it turned out a bit differently.
It is always nice when the local fauna can inform you in decision-making processes. Like, maybe we should find out who wants us to forget the hag, or you said something about...
Yeah, someone wants us to avoid helping the hag. So she must have an enemy out there. She didn't mention it, though. Which makes me suspicious. I don't like surprises.
And a hag on their own isn't a particularly common sight. We might want to be careful for a little while. It'll make a good story, though, if we live to write it.
I would like you to make a perception roll.
If we live to write it. D&D in a nutshell.
Okay, you definitely see it, but Jin does not notice, like, there's a guy in a hooded that seems to be scampering off.
There's a guy over there.
What?
I think he was watching us, and Otto runs after him.
Jin also starts running, even though he has no idea what Otto's talking about.
Otto, what is your speed?
30. Pretty
Okay.
standard.
Okay, you do catch up to them. They can't go as fast as you. And, well, since it's just, make a dex save.
Both of us?
No, because you're far distance away. Just
No.
oh,
Absolutely not. You can't make me.
Well,
Jeez.
the problem is that you fall victim to a trap this guy had set up, and you trip over a rope, and because I don't think like it'd be that bad, but it's enough like slows you down in them to get like about double your speed away while you're dealing with it. So as you're wrapped up and you whack the floor, taking 4 damage as you fall to the ground and are tied up in rope.
Right. Do I, as I'm running to catch up to him, do I still see this guy?
Yeah, but again, there's Otto tied up. You can either deal with that or go after him, because you would have enough time to go after him, because I think your speed is about 32, correct?
Yeah. I'm actually going to, in that case, I'm going to look at Otto and be like, you got it. And then I'm going to go into a rage. I'm going to go into a rage because, as part of the eagle totem that I have, while I'm raging, and since I'm not wearing heavy armor, I can take a dash for my bonus action as well. So I'll start sprinting after this guy, double dashing, so I can move 90 feet in a turn.
Okay.
So I just book it after him.
What's your dex modifier?
My next is 1.
Okay. So it's about even with them. I will say you do catch up with him, and they try to kind of like make an attack on you. Yeah. And I do not think an 8 hits you.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. So it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna grapple him. I'm gonna try to grapple him.
Ooh, that's your strength versus their dex.
All right, athletics check. I'm still raging, right?
Yep. So you get advantage on all strength checks. I don't think he can even. I don't think even with a crit. Nope.
Come here.
Otto, you're tied up. What would you like to do? Because I think kind of like you're wanting to do something.
Sorry,
Otto,
I will
are
be
you-
attempting to cut myself free.
Okay. Just make a standard attack roll. You just need above a 10.
No.
That does not work. So you're still. And just for like comedy sakes, there's a banana right there. Like you just slip on. And that's why like you can't seem to get out. Is like you slipped on the banana. Like as you notice, like close to it, this is like dwarf. Like on their turn, they are actually going to enlarge to break out. So that's all they can do, but they do essentially just break out of your hold by embiggening themselves.
I'm gonna have to hit you now, aren't I?
Ah! Like it's like they're just screaming as they're growing bigger.
Oh god, he transformed.
It's up to you. What would you like to do? It's your turn.
Well, I suppose it's time for actual violence. So Jin is gonna swing his halberd off his back and smack him with it. There's gonna be non-lethal damage, but Jin is gonna whack him with the halberd, and for his bonus action, just try to clock him. So let me roll those attacks. Just regular.
And then unarmed. Because
well, not
the halberd does hit. Like, because for how you're wanting to use the mage hand, it just would be the same roll as unarmed attack. But the mage hand is doing it.
Oh no, mage hand wasn't me. Cast spells while I'm raging. That's since I'm still raging, that's 9 points of damage on the first one, and then after smacking with the halberd, I bring up the other end of it and try to smack him with it. Because a polearm master, nope, 9 doesn't hit.
And unarmed for your mage hand.
That was a misclick. That wasn't.
Oh, okay, my bad.
That was all an illusion.
Dang it! Your pronunciation, even tangled up, is effective. Okay, so again, 9 does hurt it. Otto, do you want to try to get out before they try to do something?
Yeah, I'll just make an attempt to untie myself. Just a straight sleight of hand. Or I'm just gonna do that then. Cool. Boom.
Okay, that works. Would be your action. Is there any bonus action or movement you would like to do?
Stand up. Start heading towards the rapidly developing dwarves.
Okay. Since it's enlarged, it's going to try to strike out at Jin. Okay, and does a 24 hit?
It.
Yep. And that I need to add on, I believe, because of sneak attack is added on there. 2d6. And yes, I know this will all get halved afterwards. Or it's because you're raged.
Isn't it also a D4 because they're enlarged?
Oh, thank you. Okay, so that would be 23 damage in total, which I'm guessing gets half down to 12.
Yeah, if it's a bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing.
Yep.
Gets tabbed.
Yep.
That's,
and it gets another attack because it has multi-attack.
You said the damage is 12?
Yes. And their next attack miss.
All right. Well, here we go.
Otto, it's your turn.
What about me?
Oh, sorry. Jin, sorry.
What about me?
Thank you. Thank you for correcting me. Sorry.
All right. Yep. Another smack, hopefully. Does a 16 hit?
Yes, it does.
That's max damage plus 2 from rage damage, which is 15 on the first one. Then bonus action, polearm master attack. So I bring the other end around for another smack. So let me see that really quick, if that's going to hit. 22, that's 4 plus another 2, which is 6 points of damage.
Yeah, dang, you really are beating it up. But unfortunately, it's still standing.
I gotcha.
Otto.
Well, for lack of better options, I'm gonna cast Magic Missile.
Oh, yeah, give me that magic missile and that wild magic roll. So I really
Sorry,
hope
give me a second. I'm casting it as a second level.
Yeah. Like, I hope, like, you do enough damage so you do wild magic and that's happens after this guy's knocked out.
We'll see.
Nice. 6.
And then a couple of D20 rolls.
Damn. Oh my god. That roll for damage.
Okay. You pass, and do you want to be lethal or non-lethal?
Let's go lethal on this one. Really traumatize Otto.
Okay. As kind of like Otto had just tried to knock, beating it down, and from the back, that Otto shoots out of their fingers some magic missiles that explode this guy's head.
Oh.
Otto just kind of looks horrified at their own hand. That doesn't usually do that.
I was gonna question him, but all right. Suppose that's fine.
Sorry. It gets away from me sometimes. And then an Otto sits down in the alleyway and takes a flask from their many folds of clothes and sips.
Right. Well, are we gonna have to cover up a murder here? Because this right. Interesting.
Was self-defense or whatever. Loot the body. He's probably got information somewhere.
Loot the body.
Have you never been involved in a crime before?
Otto, I fight. That's it. I fight. I fight things, sometimes kill things.
And you've never killed a thing that you needed to loot?
Don't make a habit of it. I usually let you boys take care of that.
Give me a minute. I'll be right over. Otto drains the last of their flask, comes up and starts poking through the corpse.
I kind of put something to cover the head.
Are you just going to try to start looting it before doing anything else?
Is there anything else around?
Well, you are in just the regular street now.
I
there's not people around at the moment, but there might be soon.
I'll do a quick peek around the road, see if anybody's around.
Okay. With the reception, you see kind of like one guard, like they're picking their nose. They haven't really paid attention to things yet.
Then yeah, I'm gonna drag the body to the side and start poking through pockets.
Where are we at? Are we able to like carry this body somewhere?
Yes. You could also just find like a dark alley you could go into, which would be found later. But you can also just kind of go with another place if you have something in mind.
All right, up we go. And Jin reaches down and scoops up the body and puts it over his shoulder. Quickly.
Otto is going to shapeshift into a random other person and start kind of swaying drunkenly following Jin. Plausible deniability.
Okay. Do you plan to just keep walking down the street, or do you...
Trying to find an alleyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Off into an alleyway.
You do find one. Though, I would like another just perception check from both of you guys. Okay. You notice that there's a trail of blood from the guy leaking out their head the entire way.
Oh, for God's sakes. Otto, you really screwed the pooch on this one.
Sometimes mistakes happen, Jen.
All right.
Maybe help. All of this criticism isn't solving the problem.
Solving it for me. It's letting me work some things out right now. Jin just hurries it up. Let's go.
I'll be kind of surreptitiously casting prestidigitation on the street behind us to clean up the blood. Just every couple of steps.
All right. Well, when we get to this alleyway, I put the body on. Otto, you're up. Come on. We need to do this fast.
Otto steps up, kind of shaking uncomfortably, and starts poking through pockets, trying to avoid looking directly at the stump.
I put something over it. Sure.
I'm good with investigation or any other type of roll you'd like to make.
Gonna start with investigation. I'd also like to make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Just in case they've got anything weird on them.
You do notice, like, there is a little bead that looks out of place. That's something in particular. Like, it is around their, like one of their hands, almost like a little bracelet. There's like a little string with a little bead on it.
Yeah, I'll definitely be taking that. Arcana?
Okay. This is pretty easy. What you know is that this is a stored spell. Essentially, this is for those who are not spellcasters to be able to cast a spell.
Okay. Any sign of who this person was or why they were sent?
You know, like, they are a dwarf, headless, and in dark robes. They had a short sword and a hand crossbow. But, like, it seems as though they were purposely without a lot of identification on them.
Okay. Then I would like to, steal any ammunition for the crossbow. And then I'm going to prestidigitate a small vial of oil, dump it all over the body, and then cast Firebolt into it.
Okay, I need 2 rolls there. One on the actual Firebolt, and another on the Wild Magic.
Firebolt is a cantrip.
Oh, my bad. Thank you. Um, that does, but you also notice that as kind of like because you did not take off the bracelet, the fire catches on it, and the whole fire of the actual person disappears along with the fire.
Otto, we just gotta go, man.
You were worried about a murder. What murder?
Jin just puts his hand on your shoulder, and I'm gonna use pass without trace.
Okay.
So we're both gonna roll a little stealth check with a +10 bonus. And when we leave, we can't be tracked by magical means. And we don't leave behind tracks or any other traces of its passage. So
That's probably for the best.
Yeah, and there is no body. It did go and disappear.
So it's your stealth bonus plus a +10 bonus. So whatever you have for stealth +10. So I'm gonna roll that really quick. So you rolled a 22. I'm just gonna roll it manually in the advanced roller. Because why not?
Yeah, it's a 32 for me.
Yeah, it's a 32 and a 28, so you do sneak
mine's
away.
Mine's 18. I added that 10.
So very, very sneaky.
So I will give you, there is no body at the moment. There's no evidence leading to it. And there might just be a little bit of blood on Jin's back, but I think you can just magic that away with your hands.
I just take the shirt off and I replace it.
Yeah. And
Amiibo.
Amiibos, the head got exploded earlier in combat. The body just disappeared because the bracelet that contained a spell, in this case, invisibility, went off by the fire, just catching on it. So there's a fire that's invisible with a body on it. And both of these players had snuck away from anyone thinking it's connected to them if something happens with that invisible fire.
If you have to burn your bodies, burning them invisibly is a much better way.
It's got to be better for the environment. There's no smoke, there's no smog, it's all invisible.
As we all know, if you can't see the problem, it's not really a problem.
Okay. I feel like this is probably a good a stopping point for us all to take a break. Just because I'm not really sure how I can go from that point of you got rid of a body. So and you got away with it scotch clean. I'm because I'm open to ideas on what you want to do, but I think we need to take a break so that way we can just at least take a break because I can't stop laughing. This is so good. Good job, both of you.
How to get away with murder.
welcome back. We have the invisible flame going on as our two party members run away from a dead body they'd murdered. And I'd like you both to just roll survival to see if you notice things off or anything as you're moving around. Okay.
Aha.
Otto, you notice there seems to be an unwavering kind of heat as you guys have walked away, and someone just falls out of a window crying ah, wonder as they fall out of a window of a wooden building at something that's just causing them pain as they're trying to whack it out, unsure what it is.
Otto, still looking like a random stranger on this, drunken person on the street, screams, "Ah! A Durgar! It got away!"
What?
Don't worry about it, just come with me. And Otto starts hauling back to the office.
All right, guess we're going back.
Okay. As you get back to the office, you notice that the hag is there, doing their best to look nice. There's only a single fly on them. They've done their best to make it look neat and nice. And as they're at the office, it's just, hello there.
Ah. Hello. Didn't expect to see you so soon.
Well, I do have a boyfriend I want back,
We're making travel arrangements. Things take time. We've got to get clearance. We've got to requisition funds.
Well, I'm not big onto that kind of things. Me, I
Well-
just use a transportation ring.
Well, that seems like a much more convenient option. If you want to give us a transportation ring, we'd be glad to teleport to your boyfriend and give him your letter.
Oh, no, that's a bad idea. If we did that, we'd all be dead.
Does he not like surprises?
No. It's not the case of that. It's, well, my sister had kidnapped him, and let's just say that in some aspects, she's the better hag, unfortunately.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. Do you have any defenses against your sister?
Well,
Maybe
some.
any inside information might help us get to your boyfriend?
Oh, yeah, but it makes more sense as we're traveling to the moor. I think isn't the Torlak Moor a really big area?
The world is wide.
Oh, isn't the Smith where Blessed Heath and Stone ruins along the eastern base of the Seawall Mountains? Ruins from the time of the Larkin Empire are believed to dot the moor, and subterranean dungeons hide beneath the mire. Members of the Welch clan have spent a great deal of time exploring the area, but the moors are vast, hidden, and hide their secrets well.
Indeed. Yeah, we can work out details on the way. Come on. Let's go talk to the travel office.
Are you actually trying to that, or are you trying to just go to Penny's with the hag?
Jin, what do you think?
I agree with whatever decision you make.
That's dangerous. Yeah, let's go to Penny.
Okay. And kind of like, again, as you go up to like very big smile, hello! Oh! At the side of the hag. Eh. I take it this was forced upon you.
Winking at very specific intervals the entire time. Otto is like, oh no, this was entirely consensual. I mean, we made a very good deal, and she's consulting for us and helping us with some documentation. We'd like to see about helping book her on our ticket to get to Greenblade.
Okay, that seems very odd. Like the hag is saying that, very odd. As though like they weren't aware of the blade while Penny's going, yeah. Then just pulls out a blank piece of paper and does, yes, a document like this, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And using sleight of hand if I have to, Otto writes, got backed into this deal. Any help you can get. Tell BB I did my best.
Okay. Like your sleight of hand, I'm going to assume worked just because of how well you've been so far. But I'm going to see if their sleight of hand is any good. Because that'll be what determines if this works or not. Oh! That does not. Like your sleight of hand is so good, but as they go to pick it up, they end up falling and it shows to the hag like, well, that's not a document, that's a note. I'm giving you the opportunity. Like, you can make this work to your advantage if you come up with something.
Oh, no, the document is on the other side. And Otto swaps it for their last pay stub.
Okay, that's very odd. But, oh well.
We've been having difficulty keeping track of some of my per diem.
Yeah, Penny goes.
Not everything counts.
Yeah, like, trust me, like, getting expense accounts from them is horrible. Like, I gotta go and file things 3 times just to make sure the right document, because they use the same document twice.
I use a lot of non-conventional means. Sometimes you got to pay for things that are abnormal.
Yeah,
outside of the normal field of journalistic integrity, sometimes one might say.
And the hag goes, that doesn't sound like you're doing a proper on their documentation there. And just pulls out like one of their own stamps, like, I can always help with that with a simple stamp of my own. I am a documancer.
Oh no, I keep my own books. You got the second set back home. It's fine.
And then Penny at the like second set. I think that sounds like you're going to need a persuasion roll there. Let's see if like the is good enough. Okay, it's good enough. And kind of like sits down and just says, additional documentation is often required. You can tell like Penny is very nervous and doing their best to kind of like try to make the hag okay.
the newspaper business is very, very fringe of society. You got to get out amongst the people, down in the real fundament, in the dirt of civilization.
Oh, like the mushrooms.
Yeah. Yeah.
I take it this is why you have Gert, head of all dealings with hags.
Gert is useful to have around under various circumstances. If we're lucky, she'll catch up to us in Greenblade. Let's go catch that train.
Sure.
We've got to talk about your sister's weaknesses or whatever.
What? And like, as kind of like you're going, with like Penny's going, bye. Like, as you kind of like are walking the other direction, the hag is just kind of like, but that's a wait. And just to put in there for like, you guys are in Krogenberg, where the Moors are kind of like just a continent, like very nearby. If kind of like you want an idea of where, while Greenblade is like a full like train ride away. So like this is why the hag is having a trouble, well, kind of like understanding your point of view as they're moving away with you.
Don't worry about it. It's getting clearance for extracurricular activities.
Yes, Otto, and all of his extracurricular activities. He showed me one earlier.
Technically, no one saw anything.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah, no one saw nothing.
Nobody, nowhere.
Yeah, the hag just agreeing with. We didn't see nothing of no one. No one knows about those sins.
No. Secrets are meant to be kept. You know what they say about the secrets, right?
They're secrets. That's why they're secret. If they were known, they wouldn't be a secret then.
Some things better left unsaid. Exactly my point, right, Otto?
Absolutely. People talk too much.
What
Especially me.
Know what else they say about secrets, Otto?
What do
Two
they
can
say?
keep a secret if one of them's dead.
Nah, that's a misnomer. If you had a necromancer and you turn one into a corpse that you got under control, they can keep a secret.
Something for me to bookmark.
Everyone always forgets about necromancers.
I know, right? Like, they're the backbone. Like, how do you think so many dead bodies get taken care of if it's not the necromancers?
Jin says all that very ominously before breaking into a smirk and pushing Otto in the shoulder. I'm messing with you, man. Relax.
Sorry, I've just... Being back in town is always a little nerve-wracking.
Of course.
Okay. Just, like, again, like, is your plan to actually go to Greenblade? Because, again, the Moor is actually closer.
Eventually, the plan is to go to Greenblade. Figured we could discuss it, whether to help the hag first or go for the job.
Let's flip a coin.
Prestidigitate a coin.
Oh, a coin, eh?
Do we want to help the... Where are we going? Chance? Randomosity?
I'd like to, if I'm in here, I will put in to note if my boyfriend isn't helped out, that the documents and stuff I filed with the Barb Devil are invalid, and then they would come after you.
All right. Well, then to the moors. That seems like a better option. That's you know what? Love conquers all. The for love, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
For love.
Or whatever.
I take it you are not happy dealing with me.
I just don't understand the love. Never really needed it. Never really happened for me.
Well,
So
does it help that they're a unicorn?
yeah, sure. I don't.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, you know how you regular people have looks to be the highest value in someone because they radiate, and well, for me it's magic. In the magic off a unicorn, that would probably be equivalent to like a fire genasi hot.
Okay, well,
I don't.
Okay. You can see why, like, it's a value to me now.
Yeah.
no, I'm picking up what's being put down.
Yeah.
No
And
confusion.
okay, there just seems to be this hostile energy of where, like, you don't really want to help me out.
He's very brusque. Isn't that right, Jin? Stalwart sort.
Right. Stalwart sort.
I have no idea what that means, but I'm going to consider that to be good.
Pretty sure we don't either. Either way.
Otto
Okay.
leans into Jin. Please, I don't want a Barb Devil to kill me. Or worse. They're so much worse. They could do worse.
Let's rock and roll.
Ah! You know exactly of my ride.
Mm-hmm. I do.
And as kind of like they come out, like you see kind of like outside the building, they have this very moss-covered, what looks very much like a rock elemental, with like a big kind of like open carriage kind of thing that's all around this rock that kind of just walks around like almost like a little uh robot, I would think. It's just like imagine like it's like a golem, like it's all made out of rock with just lots of grass and all that, with like a little stairs to walk up and allow to. So you like rock and roll?
Oh, that was more of a saying. I just want to, move on. But sure, why not? What do you got?
Okay. And as kind of like you get into it, it actually looks quite contrast to what you would imagine. And much like kind of like the hag themselves look really gross, everything inside it actually looks really fancy. Like I even think like over the top like cushions that are really comfortable. There's even a little mini bar in there of wines and cheese and breads.
Otto turns to Jen and is just like, so is this like Is this like riding inside of a horse for you? I don't. What?
What?
How do things work for Earth elementals?
I'm an Earth Genasi.
Which are descended from elementals.
Listen, we're a little different, but let's move past that.
Well, I'm not saying that like that's your cousin or anything. I'm just like, is this a? What kind of life is that to you?
Well, I don't know what that kind of life is, but I grew up in a clan of Earth Genasi who worshipped dragons. So our way of doing things is decidedly out of bounds.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few that came to the big city.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, my parents thought so too.
Oh, is that over like this near the islands, isn't it?
Yeah. Home, well, I'd say the name, but it's actually quite complicated.
Oh, okay. So I take it it's nowhere near Shargon's teeth.
Actually, don't know about that one. DM?
Because I can't remember. Like I just had found like on the break an interactive map because I think like you'd said was the Caperin Islands, right? Where like a lot of the dragons were, or it was another island.
Oh no, Arganesson.
Oh, that's on the other side. Hey, that's closer to the Sea of Rage. Yeah. Yeah, they are not.
Sure, yeah. Arganesson. My home. It's where I'm from. Lots of dragons. Well, lots of dragon worship there. A few dragons. Come a ways away.
Hopefully some good dragons.
Oh, they're kidding me? All dragons are good.
I feel like you had a sheltered life.
I mean, wasn't really anywhere to go till I came here. I came here, what? It's been a couple of years now. Let's see, I'm 27. 1, 2,
Oh,
4, 5, 6, 7.
yeah,
8.
I get it. You were part of the last ward chaos.
Yeah,
It did a whole lot to everyone.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
All I know, there's one truth I know about this life, and that's that all dragons are good dragons.
I kind of feel like I should say something, Otto. Would it be rude for me to insert some truth here, or will I get smacked for it?
Speak your words.
Okay, a lot of times that can be true, but I've found that oftentimes it's not. Like, if you got a color, oftentimes, yeah, there's a good chance of being good. Yes, there's some bad red dragons out there, but most part, it's if they're after a metal. Like if you get on those silver dragons, that's when like I've found some problems. There's not been some good things with them.
I'm kind of on Jen's side with this one. Dragons are awesome.
And I feel like that's a good point of where we could just end it on. It's just like, yeah, dragons are awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. Like,
fuck yeah, dragons.
Awesome. Yeah, they're dragons. Nothing wrong. It's all fine.
I respectfully disagree. All dragons are awesome.
Right? I mean, yeah, the red ones are mean, but they breathe fire, and that's cool as hell.
I think there's a difference between cool and something that will actually utterly destroy you.
Jin will have a decidedly narrow view of dragons. They're all good. They all have their reasons.
Yes.
All of them.
I love you guys.
Jin's belief in dragon is so strong. He has a dragon totem instead of an eagle totem. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes, I do.
How heavy he believes. He gets his powers from a totem of dragons.
Okay. With that, let's go around. Like, we have our raid cry. Dragons are awesome. So that's one off the tick list. Let's go around and do our favorite moments. Jin, what would you say is your favorite moment and where we can find you?
Boy, murdering that dude in the alley was pretty. That was a pretty great debacle. Pretty savagey, Otto. Pretty savage. You can find me on Twitter at LTALIG. That's at LTALIG. You also find me on Twitch. Well, Twitch name is so long that I don't spell it out or say it. So good luck.
Otto, what is your favorite moment and where can we find you?
Torn between murdering that dude in the alley and setting invisible fire to that alley. So like that whole scene is fine. Basically the only place you're liable to find me is here again, Friday, for Where Things Go South. We're starting up another mystery this next week, and things should be exciting.
I caused it. I would like to say that. I did indeed cause that.
Indeed. It should be fun. We're going to go with fun.
Yes, fun. It's fun. Nothing to worry about.
Sometimes fun burns. We proved that.
And there will be zero bad consequences for it.
Sometimes fun burns. I feel like that should be the raid cry now.
Yeah, like there's so many good ones. Like, I'm Michael Wayne. You can find me at Michael Wayne on Twitter. Also on Twitch, I've been testing out doing that ever so often with streams of Horizon Zero Dawn and Rad. Most part, like, you can find me here and there. I'm looking to play a game with everyone. Maybe one day I'll get to play with you. Remember, we're all in this together. Thank you, everyone, for watching our wonderful cast. Everyone who maybe donated, subscribed, or follow. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for our sponsors, Fundamental RPG and Grinding Coffee Company. Remember, you can get 13% off your order at grindingcoffee.co. I may have said com last time. Sorry about that. Using the code Raven, RAVVYN. Thank you so much for the great game, and I think Raven's probably going to think of someone good to raid. Well, we enjoy all of you good people. Thank you so much, and I think we'll hand it off to Raven.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was
Raven.
Great. Oh, I just realized you all can't hear me. There we go. Thank you all so much. That was great. Yeah, we're going to go on a raid. Before we do that, once again, thank you to Michael for running the game, the cast for being amazing, and everybody that was hanging out and chat with us. Appreciate it very much. And we're going to go raid Susanna Grace. She's playing Sea of Thieves right now. she's a lot of fun to watch play games, and she does a lot of really cool tabletop stuff as well. So give her a follow if you're not doing so already. And then be sure to come back by here at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Empire's Epitaphs. And we'll see you then. Okay, bye, everybody.